Good afternoon. This personal public safety announcement is brought to you by MSUM Public Safety. In the event of an emergency requiring the building to be evacuated, please proceed to the nearest exit. And keep in mind, the nearest exit may not be in the direction of your vehicle or your destination, but please exit the building through the closest exit and then proceed to your vehicle or destination should the need arise. Should shelter need to be sought within the building, please proceed in an orderly fashion out of the north or the east fieldhouse doors and proceed to the hallways in the center of the building away from windows and doors. If you require physical assistance, please notify one of the event staff personnel. We'll get started in a few minutes. Welcome to Minnesota State University and Nemzik Hall. Just a few more things before we get started here. As a courtesy to our graduates, we ask that you silence your cell phones. The university has made special arrangements to have a professional photograph taken of each graduate at the time they cross the stage, and you may purchase these at a later date. Today's music is provided by the Minnesota State University Moorhead Wind Ensemble under the direction of Dr. Benjamin Druffel, Assistant Professor of Music, and the MSUM Chamber Singer under the direction of Dr. Michael Johnson, Assistant Professor of Music. Today's interpreter services are provided by ASLIS. A faculty marshal will lead in each college's graduates today. And now, please rise to meet our graduates from Graduate Studies, the College of Arts and Humanities, and the College of Education and Human Services, preceded by our distinguished platform guests and members of our faculty. It gives me great pleasure to present the graduates from Graduate Studies, the College of Arts and Humanities, and the College of Education and Human Services to you and President Tim Downs. Please remain standing to meet our special color guard presenting our national colors from the NDSU Army and Air Force Color Guard. Please remove your hats and join me in facing our American flag. MSUM Chamber Singers will lead us in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Before we begin, a few words from MSUM Campus Diversity Officer, Jared Pigeon.
Well, greetings and welcome all. My name is Jared Pigeon. I use he, him pronouns, and I serve as the Campus Diversity Officer at MSU Moorhead. I am charged with creating an inclusive campus environment for all learners, preparing students for a global world, and moving us towards equitable outcomes. MSUM not only recognizes students' identities, but we strive to celebrate those identities as a fabric of our institution. Today, you will see many forms of identity expression, such as students wearing various stoles and sashes that recognize their academic achievements, their home countries, and their identities that they hold near and dear to their dragon hearts. We are committed to creating a campus community that is diverse, inclusive, globally aware, and just. The students graduating before you are that, prepared to lead and succeed in today's society. I will now read our land acknowledgement statement. MSUM acknowledges that it occupies the ancestral land of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Dakota, Sisseton, Wapenton, and Yanktonai Dakota First Nations. With respect, we honor the elders past and present who have stewarded this land through generations. We acknowledge that we are on these traditional lands as a demonstration of our respect and understanding of where we are. We will continue to strive toward building a better relationship between our university and the indigenous community. And now, please welcome the President of Minnesota State University Moorhead, Dr. Tim Downs.
Welcome and congratulations to our graduates. A special thanks to the friends and family members who have helped today's graduates achieve their goals. These people are the support network, the very people who supported our graduates during this educational journey. Graduates, This is the day you've been waiting for, the day you've been working so hard for, the day you dreamed of since you first joined Minnesota State University Moorhead and the Dragon family. Today confirms your hard work has paid off. The tenacity required to navigate college, completing countless assignments, papers, and tests, now results in your graduation. I'm very thankful for all of our talented faculty and staff for their efforts to educate you and support you during your efforts at MSUM. At this time, I ask our faculty to rise and be recognized. Will everyone please join me in thanking our outstanding faculty for the work that they've done with our students. As an educator, I believe in completing the degree at a university is a major accomplishment, one that you should be proud of for the rest of your life. I personally congratulate you with the highest amount of respect and excitement for your futures. I recommend that as you move forward in life, you do so with confidence. The learning and development that you have experienced at Minnesota State University Moorhead prepares you as a young professional, someone who can successfully compete in this world and contribute to the communities where you reside. I am confident in your abilities and know that you can compete with anyone. So be sure to have that level of confidence in yourself. Never let anyone look at you and say, you only went to Minnesota State University Moorhead, or your degree is only in. I know that you have the grit, heart, and humility to bring it every day and to be a person that's a major contributor wherever you are. One aspect of your education, though, has been learning to think critically. We ask you to use these life skills to make responsible decisions, sharing your abilities to think critically and ethically, sharing your insights with others. These skills can facilitate life decisions and actions that will lead to ethical choices that focus on equity and social responsibility. I know that this aspect of living life is large and a big responsibility, but I know you're up to the many challenges that life presents. I also know your time on campus has created many fond memories and lifelong relationships. We have appreciated having you as a part of our learning community. We know that you'll miss being at MSUM and the friendships and memories you've created here. We will miss you on campus, but celebrate your opportunities to move forward in life. Of course, any of you who are considering additional education, we ask that you explore how we can fulfill your future educational needs. In the meantime, please keep in contact with us so we can follow your many successes. Last, I know you will always be a Dragon at heart. And I know that you will always have the support of the Dragon family. Your Dragon family is proud of you, our graduates, and all you have accomplished to this point. We are so proud of everything you will accomplish because we know this MSUM education is a major factor in your development. Again, congratulations. It is an honor for me to serve this great university as president and to celebrate with you all today. We cannot wait to see what you accomplish next. Go Dragons. We have some honored guests that I'll announce, and I'd ask them to please stand when they're introduced, and then you can be seated as I introduce the next person. Joining me on stage, representing our faculty, Dr. Oscar Flores, Faculty Association President. Dr. Flores. Representing our students, Nora Simondet, Student Senate President. Representing the Tri-College University, Mr. Tim Flackel, Provost. Representing our Foundation Board, Mr. Adam Bernier, Vice President. Senator Rob Kupek. and Representative Keeler. Minnesota State University Moorhead is part of the Minnesota State College and University system, which is led by Chancellor Scott Olson. Also seated on stage are members of our administrative council as listed in the program. Throughout the auditorium, you will see students who are wearing red jackets and assisting with the ceremony. These students are our Dragon Ambassadors who represent the university with distinction. To my left is Mr. Darren Selvik, our MC today. He will also introduce our graduates as they receive their diplomas. I'm also pleased to introduce Dr. Eric Jackson, Provost and Senior Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs. He will serve as the MC for today's ceremonies.
Thank you, President Downs. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we expected to welcome Dr. Satasha Green-Stevens, Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs, to give remarks on behalf of the system office, but unfortunately, she had a family emergency. Dr. Green-Stevens has created initiatives and provides leadership in support of teacher education, transfer, accreditation, and system-wide academic assessment as a coordinated process that improves student learning outcomes. Dr. Green-Stevens is an excellent colleague in the system, and we appreciate the support she provides MSUM. Dr. Kaya Chris-Jansen Nelson will read remarks from Dr. Green-Stevens.
Greetings. My name is Dr. Kaya Christensen Nelson, and I serve as the Interim Dean for the College of Arts and Humanities. Dr. Green-Stevens offers her warmest congratulations to all of you who are graduating today from Minnesota State University Moorhead. The following are her remarks. We know that to get to this day, you have had to juggle work, family, and community responsibilities while pursuing your studies. We are so very proud of your dedication and perseverance. We are confident the education you received has equipped you well to be leaders in both your careers and your community, and truly believe that each of you represents hope for a bright and bold future, for your families, for your community, for Minnesota, and for the world. Minnesota State is an interdependent network of vibrant colleges and universities committed to being a place of hope and opportunity for our students, no matter who they are or where they come from. Each of our colleges and universities contribute to an engaged, equitable, and productive society and serve as catalysts for social and economic vibrancy. All of us who are celebrating with you today do so because we believe in the power of public higher education to change lives. Today we celebrate because we believe that the outstanding, accessible, affordable, and relevant education that our colleges and universities have provided to you and to thousands of others have never been more important. As you move to the next stage of your life's journey, please know that just because you are graduating, you will never lose your connection to MSU Moorhead. You will carry the mission of this institution with you no matter where you go, whether it's down the street or to another state or across an ocean. So, Minnesota State University Moorhead, class of 2024, on behalf of the people who applaud your achievements, please accept my heartfelt congratulations on this important milestone of your lives.
Thank you, Dr. Kaya Chris-Jansen Nelson. for making remarks on behalf of Senior Vice Chancellor Green-Steven. I am honored to introduce our commencement speaker, Ms. Sarah West. Sarah West is a CFO gone rogue with 2 decades of experience in the accounting and finance industry. Throughout her career, she has consistently climbed to key leadership positions. Sarah holds a bachelor's degree from Minnesota State University Moorhead and an MBA from North Dakota State University. In 2019, she founded Light Consulting, a firm that provides fractional CFO services, executive coaching, and strategic planning. Her company aims to simplify both business and life for her clients. Since starting Light Consulting 5 years ago, she has also partnered in 2 other businesses, has ownership in 4 properties, and started a nonprofit called Faith Forward. As a student of life, Sarah is a certified management accountant, certified executive coach, and a senior professional of human resources. Sarah has held multiple board positions with several nonprofit organizations, dedicating her efforts to leading with compassion and integrity, inspired by the principles of Jesus. She resides in Ullin, Minnesota with her husband and 3 children. Please join me in welcoming Sarah West.
Well, Dragons, you did it. Today is a day of celebration, reflection, and hope. A day when you think back to the challenges you faced over the last 4-ish years, working while going to school, managing relationships with parents and friends, perseverance and determination that once you set your mind on something, you will do whatever it takes to get it. You have grit. You will look back at this time and remember the relationships you have gained and some you may have lost, a process of finding your journey's next set of people who are a part of your story for a reason, a season, or maybe a lifetime. You have heart. You look back at the last 20-ish years of your life thinking of the highs and lows, and you're reminded of the incredible gifts God has given you. And if you're anything like me, you've probably made some mistakes along the way, because after all, you are human. Although you have flaws, you also have gifts the world needs, and it's your responsibility to use those gifts for good. You have humility. When deciding on what my nearly 40 years on earth have taught me that I think is imperative for you to know today, a few things come to mind. I want to share 2 lessons stemming from a quote I heard 13 years ago during a leadership program from our fellow Dragon and current Lieutenant Governor of North Dakota, Tammy Miller. It is choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. It is choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. Let that sink in. It is choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. The 2 lessons with this, the first one is you are a product of what you consume, so choose wisely. And the second is you are what you think you are. Don't let the devil fool you. Let's dig into number 1. You are a product of what you consume, and you are in full control of what you consume. What you put into your body, what you see, hear, smell, and touch. And I hate to break it to you, but those reels, TikToks, and snaps, those are things you consume as well. You may have heard people say you are a product of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely. Choose wisely who you surround yourself with, what you put into your body, because you have these young, forgiving bodies now, and it won't always be that way. One day, you'll be in your 40th birthday year, and you'll wear sneakers every day because wearing anything else, like today, makes your feet hurt. And now that you're college grads, the days of inviting everyone to your birthday are done. Trust me, I know all about it. I graduated high school with a class of 20 in a town less than 500, and if I didn't invite Sally to my birthday party, I heard about it. But now, you get to choose. Choose to surround yourself with hand raisers and people who show up for you. Throughout my life, I've had hand raisers above me. The JV basketball coach who pulled me up in 8th grade, a college professor who was so proud of me, she bragged about me to others, the person who took a chance on me when my personality profile didn't fit the mold, and then I outsold 1,400 interns in the nation, the boss who poured into me so I could be a CFO at age 30. 5 years ago, I set off on my own. Now I own 4 properties, run 3 profitable businesses, and started a nonprofit this year. You would have never guessed that 6 short years ago, I was 8 months pregnant with my now 5-year-old son, working through a company and their transition of the next generation of ownership, which I would have been included in. And that company had more people in it than my K through 12 school. And I'm sitting there in tears, knowing that if I say yes to this incredible opportunity, I'd be living for somebody else's legacy. And for some odd reason, I felt like I needed my husband's permission to leave my 6-figure job to go ahead and start at ground zero. I mean, it sounds great to not have a paycheck after we bought a big house and a new car. I can see now that all the things that I've learned from all the people and opportunities have equipped me to be the person I am today, to have built the businesses I have today. Because I've surrounded myself with hand raisers for the last 40 years in November, I get to raise my hand for myself, and I get to raise it for others. I get to cheer them on and use my influence and resources to improve their life, not only at work, but in all facets of life. The second lesson, you are what you think you are. Don't let the devil fool you. I believe you were put on this earth at this time for a distinct purpose. But it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. It matters a whole lot what you got going on up in here, up in here. Last month, I was having lunch with a friend of mine. I was sharing how I was nervous about this talk today, which was surprising because I typically don't get nervous. I was worried about how am I going to relate to these bright young people when I'm nearly 40 years old, and anytime I have a tech issue, I hand my phone over to my 15-year-old. I mean, I don't even know what clothes are hip anymore. Thank you, Kylie, for dressing me today. My friend told me I should back out. There's no way I can confidently stand here and give you anything of value. That although I've given graduation addresses before, not to this magnitude or this many people, and I better not do it. I left that conversation feeling defeated, uneasy, and just sad. But you want to know what the worst part was? That was a conversation I was having with myself. Those thoughts were the devil telling me I am not good at speaking, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm just not enough. In Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil, he says, your only limitation is the one you set in your own mind. So when you're in your head telling yourself you're not qualified for that job, you're not pretty enough to talk to that person, you're not fun enough, you're rich, or you're poor, I want you to think of this moment at your graduation when some lady said, you are enough. But more importantly, I want you to know in your heart and your soul that you are. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And the most beautiful lesson you will ever learn is you are in control, not of your circumstances, but of how you react to it. So in closing, as you move in the coming days, weeks, and years, I want you to remember it is choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. And those lessons that go along with you are you are a product of what you consume, so choose wisely. And you are what you think you are. Don't let the devil fool you. Life isn't happening to you. It's happening for you. So the next time the devil comes in your ear, tell him to kick rocks. You get to choose. You get to choose grit, humility, and heart. And you're a badass dragon who'll breathe fire on anyone who tries to put out your flame. God bless.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, members of the audience, you will notice colored ribbons, pins, and stoles distinguishing some of today's graduates. These are symbols of outstanding academic accomplishments or other affiliations and activities. Some graduates are wearing honor cords, which signify high academic achievement. Cum laude graduates are wearing white cords, while our cum laude graduates, as listed in the commencement program, stand and be recognized. Magnum cum laude graduates are wearing red honor cords, while our magna cum laude graduates, as listed in the commencement program, stand and be recognized. Our summa cum laude graduates are wearing red and white honor cords, while our summa cum laude graduates, as listed in the commencement program, stand and be recognized. Our honors program graduates are wearing a gold stole, while our honors program graduates, as listed in the commencement program, stand and be recognized. We would also like to take this opportunity to recognize both those in the audience and those graduating today who at some point in their lives have either served in the armed forces or await fulfillment of military duties. Will our graduates who have participated in the military service please stand and be recognized? Today is also Military Spouses Appreciation Day. Military Spouse Appreciation Day is celebrated on the Friday before Mother's Day in the United States. Many United States citizens take this day to acknowledge the significant contributions, support, and sacrifices of our spouses of their armed forces. If you are a spouse of a member of our military, active or retired, please stand and be recognized. Now, will the members of the audience or members of the faculty who have engaged in military service please stand and be recognized? As a proud veteran of the United States Army, on behalf of the university, I thank you for your service. Now, in demonstration of our core values of grit, humility, and heart, will those members of the audience, members of the faculty, or members of today's graduating class who are the first in their families to graduate from college, please stand and be recognized. And finally, will those members of the audience or members of the faculty who are MSUM alumni please stand and be recognized? It is inspiring to see so many MSUM alumni and friends who are transforming our world. Now, our official commencement recognitions begin. Graduates will be invited to the stage by student ambassadors led by the faculty marshals. Each graduate will be introduced as they walk across the stage to receive their diplomas and congratulations from President Downs. All students who have met the requirements for graduation are listed in the program. However, the names of students graduating in absentia will not be read. All degrees granted today will be conferred through their deans of their respective colleges. Please hold your applause until all the candidates for each college have been presented. Dr. Robert Nava, Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Graduate and Extended Learning, will present the candidates for graduate degrees. Dr. Nava.
A doctoral degree is the ultimate academic honor that the university can bestow upon a student. Scholars earn the doctorate have transitioned from being our students to our colleagues. As a token of our esteem and respect, doctoral candidates will be invested with a hood by Dean Lee and their faculty advisor. The remaining graduate candidates, hood in a separate ceremony, will cross the stage to receive their diploma. Will the candidates for graduate degrees please rise and remain standing? President Downs, it is my privilege to present the candidates for graduate degrees. On behalf of the graduate faculty, I certify that these candidates have met all graduate, college, and departmental requirements for the degrees to be conferred.
Nathan Blommel, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Angie Clark, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Kristen Damer, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Tamara Marie Engel, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Molly Franz, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Jonathan William Graff, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Jacqueline Jackson, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Marcy Jo Jorda, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Thank you. Robert Conert, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Mindy Kurkowski, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Anthony Joseph Mahady, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Ekron David Miller, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Tanya Joy Miller, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Amanda Lorraine Peterson, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Christine Quisley, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Chrysel Escobedo Kingwell, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Julia Rowland, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Scott Sandock, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Amy Lynn Schultz, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Molly Marguerite Scheidt, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Zachary Ryan Selness, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Brittany Marie Watson, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Lori Ann Wolf, Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership. Denise Adrianson, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Stephanie Allery, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Hannah Ann Andrusko Starks, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Karen Blaschke, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Jensen Lee Bloom, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Ali Bondi, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Peyton Taylor Boom, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Ryan Brumwell, Master of Science in Special Education. Hannah Kathleen Budke, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Julia Bungeon, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Jesselyn Marie Canavan, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Jennifer Marie Close, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Lindsay Culkins, Master of Science in Counseling. Kimberly Ann Dahl, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. London Defender, Master of Science in Counseling. Michelle Delorme, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Jordan Kane Dion, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Mackenzie Renee Eckery, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Alyssa Kate Eschhorn, Master of Science in Counseling. Jacob Franz, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Terrence Friedrichs, Master of Science in Special Education. Gabrielle Marie Furman, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Michaelan Lynn Griffin, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Samuel Grove, Master of Science in Counseling. Brittany Hannenberg, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Liz Hansen, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Tyra Elizabeth Heiser, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Krista Heisler, Master of Science in Special Education. Ashley Helgeson, Master of Science in Counseling. Andrell Hudson, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Ann Humphrey, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Kelly Iverson, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Alicia Ann Johnson, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Olivia Ann Johnson, Master of Science in Counseling. Scarlett Jorgensen, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Emily Rose Carvold, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Seth Kelly, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Sadie Lynn Ketteman, Master of Science in Counseling. Jacob Robert Kinnan, Master of Science in Counseling. Regan Kluver, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Maxwell Kruger, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Michael Lattiser, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Rebecca Lair, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Jenna Lovis, Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology. Samantha Meyer, Master of Science in Counseling. Courtney Martinson, Master of Science in Counseling. Cameron Ann Maycutt, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Samantha McDaniel, Master of Science in Counseling. Elizabeth Lee McDonald, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Emma Kristen Mertens, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Parker Metz, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Emily Josephine Meyer, Master of Science in Counseling. Dayla Joy Miller, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Emily Monroe, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Spencer Nyson, Master of Science in Counseling. Tally Nitschke, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Natalie Noodle, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Allison Rose Ochua, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Dominic Oliver, Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Danielle Peterson, Master of Science in Counseling. Tyler Anthony Reimers, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Caitlin Reynolds, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Gage Reeder, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Allie Rocky, Master in Science in Speech Language Pathology. Ashley Kate Saylor, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Bethany Rose Schill, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Candace Marie Schultz, Master of Science in Special Education. Daniel Anthony Simpson, Master of Science in Counseling. Ashlyn Skolnis, Master of Science in Counseling. Sarah Steyer, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Sydney Ann Tadman, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Tori Teske, Master of Science in Counseling. Preston Teske, Master of Science in Special Education. Rachel Thompson, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Marshall Tutt, Master of Science in Counseling. Spencer Van Beck, Master of Science in Special Education. Georgia Nicole Walkner, Master of Science in Counseling. Frank Williams, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Leanne Williams, Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. Emily Wood, Master of Science in Speech Language Pathology. Seliv Amidi, Master of Social Work. Grace Elaine Becker, Master of Social Work. Alyssa Marie Berghardt, Master of Social Work. Angela Danowitz Johnson, Master of Social Work. Madison Griffin, Master of Social Work. Rachel Hagan, Master of Social Work. Ethan Hines, Master of Social Work. Carolyn Hollebuck, Master of Social Work. Ariana Krekelau, Master of Social Work. Angela Lauterbaugh, Master of Social Work. Alexis Leininger, Master of Social Work. Natasha McDonnell, Master of Social Work. Taylor Roddy, Master of Social Work. Fiona Schermerhorn, Master of Social Work. Ashley Seifert, Master of Social Work. Aaliyah Stahl, Master of Social Work. Zamzan Ahmed, Specialist in Educational Leadership. Mark Lewis Jacobs, Specialist in Educational Leadership. Nicole Rhoda Markworth, Specialist in Educational Leadership. Halimo Roble, Specialist in Educational Leadership. And representing the graduate faculty, Dr. Jim Johnson, Assistant Professor of Educational Leadership. Congratulations, graduates.
Dr. Kaya Christiansen Nelson, Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities, will present the candidates for degrees from the College of Arts and Humanities. Dr. Kaya Christiansen Nelson.
Will the candidates for the degrees in the College of Arts and Humanities please rise and remain standing? President Downs, it is my privilege to present the candidates for the degrees in the College of Arts and Humanities. On behalf of the faculty of the college, I certify that these candidates have met all college, departmental, and undergraduate requirements for the degrees to be confirmed.
Okay. Associate of Arts, Michael Kraft. Bachelor of Arts, Hannah Jo Bliss. Mika Brownell. Alyssa Joy Christoffers. Ivan Diaz Perez. Faith Rebecca Henkel. Luke Johnson. Sydney Nelson. Emma Lee Prunchinsky. Erin Ray Spell. Forrest Suki. Olivia K. Thompson. Bachelor of Fine Arts, Wyatt Andrew Bailiff. Jonathan Bauer. Charles James Beasley. Peyton Amanda Castillo. Jenna Pauline Christian. Caleb Christensen. Emma Mewen Christensen. Elizabeth Egel. Shana Iguchi. Audrey Erickson. Grant Christopher Gillette. Seth Daniel Hansen. Elizabeth Jean Hennon. Ethan Paul Jones. Maya Marie Kruger. Mackenzie Lampton. Ella Ledoc. Grace Alma Lahid. Isaac Mayo. Alex McMahon. Gracie Allen Mollett. Eljoy Moore. Jaime Morales Hernandez. Katie Lauren Mugley. Abigail Lee Novak. Alexis Novak. Emily Peralt. Mackenzie Ann Reeder. Alex London Kaiser Rezak. Joseph Michael Rosener. Kyle James David Schmidt. Jacob Dean Shillman. Kate Stafford. Jordan Ryan Stanwyck. Callie Marie Stone Cipher. Ryota Suda. Ty Michael Timmerman. Marley Ray Warner. Savannah Lynn Watson. Cindy Zong. Bachelor of Science, Vova Bernard. Anna Helene Beauchamp. Alyssa Cyrilla Donkers. Connor Fitzgerald. Mylyn Jerry. Ruth Anna Langford. Brady Larson. Megan Leanne Lowering. John Lund. Greta Nordgren. Casey Marie Stage. Jet Drew Swanson. Jaden Trace Wurtzema. Seth Keene, summa cum laude. Emma Ann Detman. And representing the faculty from the College of Arts and Humanities, Dr. Anna Arnar, professor in the School of Art. Congratulations, graduates.
And now, Dr. Oki Lee, Dean of the College of Education and Human Services, will present the candidates for degrees from the College of Education and Human Services. Dean Lee.
Will the candidates for degrees in the College of Education and Human Services please rise and remain standing? President Downs, it is my privilege to present the candidates for degrees in the College of Education and Human Services. On behalf of the faculty of the college, I certify that these candidates have met all college, departmental, and undergraduate requirements for the degrees to be conferred.
Bachelor of Arts, Kira Jean Bergquist. Joseph Corley. Marissa Jo Angsta. Colin Ginnity. Evelyn Gonzalez. Amy Harstick. Argentina Hajari. Haley Ruth Marie Jansen. Alexi Silk Cry. Hannah Marie Lousy. Brandon Garcia. Miami Picas. Luke Joseph Shaney. Bishang Selman. Anna Gail Smith. Aaron Louise Sunby. Tori Lee Thompson. Tiana Vetter. Erica Jean Wenzel. Jolynn Willis. Bachelor of Science, Emily Ann Benzinger. Deidre Broughton. Skylar Bryn Breivik. Taylor Amy Bush. Jessica Carlson. Allison Karstensen Bowe. Madeline May Etter. Ava Gladys Greffy. Maya Gessel. Anna Marie Gosson. Magna cum laude. Abby Lee Gronland, summa cum laude. Maya Hagan, magna cum laude. Parker Hansen, cum laude. Danielle Heckerman, summa cum laude. Haley Renee Headland. Jamie Lynn Haida, summa cum laude. Madison Lynn Heiling, magna cum laude. Tessa Ann Holton, summa cum laude. Michaela Lou Jansen, magna cum laude. Megan Marie Jaskin, magna cum laude. Mason James Johnson, magna cum laude. Abigail Marie Klitsky, summa cum laude. Isabel Jean Kruger, summa cum laude. Jada K. Landis, magna cum laude. J.C. Lynn Larson, summa cum laude. Jenna K. Lee, summa cum laude. Allison Lean, summa cum laude. Katrina Marie Locken, magna cum laude. Abby Mae Marshke, summa cum laude. Mary Abigail Matthews, summa cum laude. Emily Marie Matzdorf, magna cum laude. Alyssa Ray McAllister, summa cum laude. Shayla Grace Mead. Caitlin Jean Miller, magna cum laude. Samuel Joseph Morgenstern, summa cum laude. Kaya Don Nelson. Morgan Jean Nias, magna cum laude. Trisha Ann Osbachen, cum laude. Jalen Marie Owen, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Murray Peterson, cum laude. Victoria Isabella Prue, summa cum laude. Kaylee Grace Quanbeck, magna cum laude. Sarah Ann Rudolph, summa cum laude. Catherine Ilza Sando. Trenton Ray Sartain. Grace Mary Schoneck, magna cum laude. Jersey Thayer, magna cum laude. Paige Nicole Thompson, cum laude. Allison Van Dyke, summa cum laude. Brianna Marie Vig, cum laude. Sophie Wise, cum laude. Amy Catherine Wensloff, cum laude. Ivy Pearl Wiggs, magna cum laude. Jessica Marie Wolbeck, cum laude. Bachelor of Social Work. Amber Adler. Hannah Allen. Caitlin Christine Becker. Alexis Centers. Kelsey Hansen. Savannah Nicole Hikus, magna cum laude. Chloe Ann Height. Victoria May Hubrig, magna cum laude. Alexandra Irene Johnson. Keely Johnston, cum laude. Mason Kimball. Willa Jean Coivisto. Elena Marie Mack, cum laude. Ashley Sky Peterson. Kiera Angeline Renacki, magna cum laude. Erica Roman, magna cum laude. Alicia Schaefer. Maya Jordy Skolton, magna cum laude. Brooklyn Dawn Spry, cum laude. Addison Stotts, cum laude. Melissa Lynn Struby. Madison Elise Thien. And representing the faculty from the College of Education and Human Services, Dr. Elaine Pyle, Associate Professor, Department Chair, Speech Language, Hearing Sciences. Congratulations, graduates.
Today's student commencement speaker was nominated by the deans of their college and recognized for excellence. Today, our student speaker is Griselle Escobedo Kingwell. Griselle has a passion for helping others achieve their education goals, especially those from underrepresented communities. She spent over a decade working in higher education roles, including admissions, student affairs, student services, partnerships, recruitment, and as an adjunct faculty member. She currently serves as an education workforce specialist for the Minnesota Department of Education. Griselle runs an independent consulting business that specializes in facilitating restorative circles and helping schools review and establish school practices. Diversity, equity, and belonging drive who she is and the work that she does. She collaborates with school administrators, teachers, and support staff to provide comprehensive social emotional learning to students who are new to the United States. Griselle understands the power in sharing one's story, and she is passionate about helping others share theirs. She holds a master's degree in school counseling, and she is graduating with a doctorate in education. You saw her walk across the stage. Griselle is a proud wife and mother of 2 boys. Although she spent most of her adult life in California, she has lived in the Midwest for 6 years. In her spare time, she loves to spend time with her family. Please join me in welcoming Griselle.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here amongst our esteemed faculty, staff, family, guests, and of course, my fellow graduates. And to be perfectly honest, it is also nerve-wracking to be here. Let me tell you. I would like to start by grounding us in gratitude. I feel that we would not be here if it were not for those that came before us, that made sacrifices to improve the lives of the future generations. We also would not be here without our village, our families, our friends, our professors, all of those who have supported us along the journey. You know who you are. Thank you. Gracias for the support, for the love, for the kindness, and for the brutal honesty, because sometimes we need to hear it. I have always carried a great sense of responsibility to honor my parents' story and sacrifice. You see, I am the proud daughter of 2 immigrants from Mexico who came to the United States searching for a better future. I am a first-generation college graduate and the first in my family to receive a doctorate, but I will not be the last. With your permission, I would like to take a minute to thank my parents in my first language, which is Spanish. Papás, valió la pena el sacrificio. Gracias por soñar en un mejor futuro y por su valentía en crear ese futuro. So I just told my parents, the sacrifice was worth it. Thank you for dreaming of a better future and for your bravery in making that future happen. I also want to thank my village, my husband, Andrew, my children, Matthew and George, my godson, Luke, my sister, Juana, who are here as my motivators, my support system, and who give me grace along this journey called life. I don't think that my younger self could have ever imagined being here. That little girl who was learning English as a second language, that 9th grade student who was told by her honors English teacher that she should drop that class because it would be too hard for her. That teenager who would clean houses with her mother on weekends to help support her familia. The mom who would wake up at 3 a.m. to write dissertation, knowing her 9-month-old would be up at 6 and she needed to be at work by 8. All of those versions of myself believed that with great humility, sacrifice, and grit, I could do better for my children and for the generations to come. Now, I know I'm not the only one who has faced difficult situations along this journey. Please not. If you have faced adversity, challenges during this journey. Yeah? That's what I thought. We have all faced a multitude of experiences, internal or external challenges that have tested us and pushed us, and through them we have realized we are stronger than we thought we were. It is through these challenging experiences we gain a sense of confidence on our own strength, and we achieve and demonstrate our resilience. That resilience allows us to achieve great things, including the achievement we celebrate today. Our resilience carried us to achieve this dream, and that same resilience will propel us into our future. I believe that all our lived experiences, including those that have given me more gray hairs than I want to acknowledge, make our story stronger, more human, and more beautiful. Now, it's not easy to own one's story. And if I have to be honest, it was not until recently that I started to feel comfortable opening up and sharing my story with others. Before, I had not allowed myself time to own my story and to see how it connects me deeper with others. It is during this reflective process, which included many tears, in which I realized the importance and the power of sharing our stories with others. You see, it allows us to build comunidad, community. It allows us to become more authentic in our own skin, and it allows us to learn to step into our light. I often now say, tu historia tiene poder. Your story has power. Share it with others. I believe that all our combined stories are unstoppable. They're unstoppable when we decide to shine light where there are disparities. They're unstoppable when we offer up spaces for voices who have not been heard. They're unstoppable when we break down barriers and make systemic changes. They're unstoppable when our shared goal is to make and create a better future for the next generation. Fellow graduates, I truly do hope that you realize that your journey and your power, and your journey and your story have power, and that you choose to share it with the world, and that you don't let anyone dim your light. I hope you decide the change you want to make, and with determination, humility, love, and grit, you make that change happen. Today is our day. This is the moment we have been working and waiting for. Whether we could have imagined what the celebration would feel like or not, we are here, we achieved it. I hope you have a wonderful celebration, that you let life stand still for a bit, appreciate the moment, that you reflect on your story, and that you choose to share your story and make a difference and advocate for others. However that looks, however that works for you, share your story and take some of the wonderful lessons from your time at MSUM out into the world. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Griselle. Your story is compelling, and it gives us such motivation to pursue everything in life. And you do that, and we know you have many journeys ahead of you as an educator and a leader. So thank you for being our graduate. Now the moment we've waited for. Will the 2024 spring graduates please stand? Come on, up. As president of Minnesota State University Moorhead, and by virtue of the authority invested in me by the Board of Trustees for the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities, I confer upon you the degrees as appropriate, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. At this time, we ask the graduates to move your tassel from the right to the left side of your hat. Members of the audience, please join me in congratulating our newest graduates. And now, graduates, I would like to invite you to turn and applaud your parents, family members, and friends who have supported you throughout this journey. Please be seated. As we celebrate your transition from student to graduate, we also pay tribute to the traditions of our past through the Minnesota State University Moorhead alma mater. Graduates and guests, please rise and join the MSUM Chamber Singers in singing the Minnesota State University Moorhead alma mater, which is printed on the back cover of the commencement program.
Students, faculty members, and platform party, please remain standing for the recessional. Members of the audience, you may be seated until the recessional has ended. Today's ceremony is now concluded. Congratulations to one and all.